Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess, and this is Canyon Oracle, a place where we use divination tools like tarot and oracle cards to inspire healing and transformation in the lives of truth seekers just like you. Today we're going to be answering the question, what is it that they truly feel about me? So you might be curious about someone that you work with, or a family member, a friend, or even a romantic partner. And we are going to dive deep into what it is that they think about you as a person, how they see you, and what they really feel about you, and what they hope for your relationship moving forward. But before we get started, I just have to remind you that these are general readings, so some aspects of the reading may not apply to you. What I have found with general readings is oftentimes it's that there are actually certain parts of the reading that are very important that you hear. So I do think that if it does feel resonant with you, it's important to stick with it till the very end of the reading, because sometimes things become clearer as the reading goes on. However, if you do choose a pile and feel like it doesn't resonate with you at all, don't ever try to make it fit. Either scratch the pile and move on to another one, or move on to another pick a card video entirely. There are so many great tarot readers on YouTube that I have loved watching myself. And a reason why I really love pick a card videos in particular is because it invites the viewer to tap into their own intuition and use their own internal guidance system. And if that's something that interests you as well, I've actually created a really powerful meditation that can support you in doing just that. It's called the Inward Journey Meditation, and I would love to gift it to you for free. You can find that at canyonoracle.com/YT. That link is also in the description box below. There are other things in the description box, a link about the work that I do. I do live one-on-one intuitive coaching sessions where I use things like divination tools to really get to the root of whatever it is that's stopping you in your life and get insight and clarity about how we can best move you forward toward the life that you truly desire. There's also info in the description box about the cards that I'm using. If you have any other questions and you don't see your answer in the description box, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment. I promise to get back to you. Okay, so without further ado, we have 4 groups to choose from today. And before you choose a group, I just invite you to bring yourself into this present moment, which is exactly where your intuition and your truth reside, right here and right now. Really feel your feet on the ground, all 5 toes, the balls of your feet and your heels firmly planted on the ground. Let your belly go, let your breath really drop down. Hold your person in your mind's eye and ask yourself the question, what do they truly feel about me? And then choose a group that most resonates with you. And again, we have 4 groups to choose from today. We have group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. Okay, you can pause the video if you need a little extra time. Otherwise, your timestamp is in the description box below. And once you make your choice, I will see you at your reading. Hi, Group 1. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we have a variety of different cards that we're using today. Some very traditional tarot cards, some oracle cards, romance angels. We'll look at each card one by one, and then we'll really see the larger story that wants to be told. So the first card that we have for you is the 4 of Swords. This is a card about meditation, stillness, a pause, a nap, a rest, peace and tranquility in your mind. Interesting. And it's right next to the Chariot, which has a very different energy. The Chariot card is about movement forward, progress, success, commitment, will in many ways. And the Four of Swords is really about taking a pause in your personal will. So there's something about you that feels like peaceful and yet dynamic in a way. I'm not exactly sure what that means yet. We'll see. The next card that we have is the Ace of Swords. Interesting. This is, about ideas, clarity, communication. I imagine that you're a very good communicator and this person sees that about you. Interesting. Then we have this Two of Swords energy, which is a very different energy again. So we have two sets of juxtaposing energies. We have the Four of Swords, which is about the pause, right next to the Chariot, which is about movement. Then we have the Ace of Swords, which is about clarity and movement and progress and new beginnings, right next to the Two of Swords, which is about pausing again. It is sort of like the stalemate energy, this like going within. Also, sometimes it can be about not wanting to see what's happening. So, you know what I'm getting the sense of? That this is really about how your person is feeling, their experience of how they feel about you. In other words, it feels to me like they are feeling conflicted about how they feel about you. It feels to me like part of them is saying, no, just wait, just hold on, let's not move forward yet. And then another part of them wants to fearlessly charge forward toward you. So let's see if we get some more insight about that. Oh, then we got the Two of Cups, which is union, soulmate energy, a real mirroring energy. So this might be about the both of you. You both might be going through something very similar where it feels like you want to communicate, you want to move things forward, and at the same time, you are not. So there's something inside you that wants to, that will of yours is fiery inside and wants to move forward, and yet your mind is telling you, no, not yet, not yet. It feels like both of you are going through the same thing, but there's real love here. So I imagine that this is about a romantic partner. If it's not, if it's about a friend or a work colleague or whatever, love is present in all relationships, hopefully, right? So just apply it to whatever resonates for your story. Then we have the Magician card, powerful energy about manifestation. Also about having all the tools that you need right within you. There's nowhere to go to get what you need. You just need to go within. So there's some message here about going within, and that success has to do with internalization of whatever sort of outward things are happening. It feels like either it's the advice or it is what you guys are both doing, which is to say, I'm taking a pause in the moment, I'm reevaluating, and then I'm getting clear about all of this that I have within me. It also feels to me like your person feels like you have everything that they need, everything that they've been looking for. Interesting. Then we have the Healer of the Ages, another powerful energy, very similar to the Magician, which is about this manifestation energy, this alchemization, transformation. And it's not just about the act of transformation, it is about the healer. Both of these cards are about the healer and what they can do. So there's something here for me where it feels like your person feels that you are healing for them in some way, that you are a healer, and you very well may be a healer. Now we have the Trust card. Interesting. Again, trust is an internal action, right? It's not something, trust is exactly what I'm talking about here, which is no matter what's going on externally in the world around you, trust is about knowing within you that everything is going to work out, that all of your needs are met, that you have all of the resources that you would ever need. And faith in many ways, faith in the divine, faith in yourself, right? Faith in this relationship, that things are actually as they feel that they are. So there's a lot of cards about thinking and the mind here. It feels like the mind and the heart are in two different places. And I imagine there's a reason for that, and we're going to look deeper into that. But the heart says, I love this person. It feels to me like this person is feeling love for you, love or infatuation, or again, whatever feels right for you in your situation. And yet, their mind is telling a different story. Their mind is saying, wait, let's be cautious here. I have some ideas about what's going on, but I don't necessarily want to move forward. And yet their will is wanting to push them. So let's see if we get a better idea about the kind of person that they really see you as. And let's see if maybe it makes more sense about the conflict that they're going through between their head and their heart. So we got gossip, storyteller, and addict. So the first thing that comes to my mind is that either you have a tendency to chat about people. My sense is that what's going on here is that other people like to talk about you and perhaps your person. So maybe you guys are in, like, maybe this is a work environment sort of situation and your person is worried, and maybe that's why, even though they're, part of them wants to charge forward toward you because they do feel love for you, and they are, doing all this manifestation work, and they see that there's such potential. That's what it feels like. I feel like they see that there's such potential here, and yet they are concerned about moving forward. And now, I don't know if you have had issues with addiction or your person has had issues with addiction. What it seems like to me is, because we did get the gossip, the storyteller, and the addict card, is that perhaps because of your addictions in the past or your person's addictions in the past, people are telling stories about you to them. Or there's just gossip, general gossip going around within your family, within your work environment, within your friend circle, and this is holding back this union. And again, if this is not about a romantic situation and it is like a work situation or something like that, then which is probably why you're at this reading today, that there's been like stunted growth for some reason. Like, you feel this love too. And you're like, why are we in this energy when we have, here are these two very different twos here, right? Twos very much being about partnership and union and harmony. But we have this one, which is a merging of emotions and hearts and sharing and union. And then we have this other one, which is like, I don't want to see, I don't want to go, I am closing off and I am going within. And it feels like it is because there is this, and maybe your person has dealt with in the past, other people invading their mind. And maybe that's also why they want to take a pause right now, because they're like, I don't want to be influenced by external. And maybe that's why we have this Two of Swords energy here, because they are hearing this gossip and the stories about you, or maybe about them. Maybe people are saying to them, hey, you have had issues with addiction. Maybe you shouldn't be jumping into a relationship right now. And they're like, but I want to go. And I see all this amazing potential. And this is what I've been manifesting in my life, is someone just like this. And yet they have these people saying, oh, I don't know, it's not a great idea, you should really think about this. So what is that doing? That's making them, it is like stunt. I don't know why I keep feeling like a stunt in the growth. So it's like there is like, I see the image of like cement, and there is this like green, flower coming through the cement, and all of the cement is holding back the flower, but it's still growing, okay? I mean, we have 4 extremely powerful energies about moving forward and making things happen and success and growth. And honestly, these 2 energies that are sort of quiet and still are much smaller. Like, in other words, this could change within a day, in a moment. But if you are feeling this conflict too, like if you are feeling mixed signals from this person, that's why. But they absolutely feel love for you. And the story that I'm seeing in my head, and again, this is a general reading, so it may not apply to you, is that your person has had issues with addiction before. So it may not be like, very dramatic. It may not be like drugs, alcohol, or something like that. It may be like a sex addiction, which can also be dramatic for some people, but it may be more like codependency things where they were relying too much on their past partners or something like that. And so they have reservations about stepping into this next relationship, but they see you as being different. They see you as like this healer potentially in their life. They see you as the one who can actually heal their heart and heal all their past wounds. Now, of course, it's our own responsibility to do that. And maybe that's why they are a little conflicted. Maybe they're feeling like, yeah, I want her or him, whomever you are, to help heal my wounds and to help teach me again what love can feel like. And I can see that this relationship could be very healing for me. And yet they also know maybe they've been in 12-step or therapy, or maybe they're just their friends are in their ear. But they also know that it's their own responsibility to do that. And they don't want to be codependent again, or they don't want to somehow hold up their own healing process by kind of putting it on you, if that makes sense. I know I've been kind of talking in circles, but it feels like a very specific story. So I know that that's only going to apply to a certain number of you who are actually watching this video, but I again think that it is a story that can be applied to many situations, which is we all have a history, we all have a past, and for whatever reason, the person that you're inquiring about feels weighed down in some way by their past, and they're concerned that they will repeat that cycle again. So they don't want to put that on you. They don't want to taint your union in some way by their history. So they want to make sure that they are ready and good to go before they move forward toward you. And my sense is that all of this is going to be happening relatively quickly. At the very least, you will see movement and action toward you relatively quickly. But the length of time that the relationship takes to unfold, it may not be as fast. In other words, my sense is you're going to feel better about this, like why you came to this video and you're wondering what this person really thinks and I'm so confused. That part is going to become more clear to you, and maybe it's just in this reading alone, but my sense is that these energies are archetypal. They're very strong. So this means that they are coming to a realization about how powerful they are and how much they actually do want to move things forward with you. And they're going to follow those impulses. But if you've been feeling a pause or confused about what's been going on, this is why, because they have been too. And so it's obviously showing up externally in your relationship. But really, really beautiful healing energies here between the two of you. And my sense is, because we did get this Two of Cups energy, it is mirrored in some way. Like you both will be healing for each other. And I just for some reason was drawn to reading this addict card, and the light attribute, they have both the light and the shadow in these cards, and the light attribute helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. So again, it feels a lot to me like you are somehow helping this person heal their past. And again, like I said, they're probably doing the same thing for you. And that's what love does. Yeah, we are responsible for our own emotional well-being, and we are responsible for our own healing. But let's be honest, love is the most powerful force in the universe. And love absolutely can contribute to our healing journey. And so there is a lot of healing potential in this relationship, whatever kind of relationship it is. If it's a friendship or romantic partnership, it doesn't matter. Within this union is a lot of potential for healing. And the cards are asking you to just trust in the unfoldment of this process. Trust your person, trust yourself, trust the inherent goodness of the universe, that things work out as they should. And so will this. And so if you've been feeling confused, it makes perfect sense. Your person has been confused as well. But not to fret, that's not going to last. Things will be changing and shifting soon. And it just feels like it's important to note that this is complicated. But don't forget that life is complicated, right? And most relationships are complicated. So, nothing is a fairy tale. And I think sometimes we get this programming in our head that love is supposed to look a particular way, or friendship's supposed to look a particular way, or success is supposed to look a particular way. And if it doesn't go this way, then it's not real. Well, life is not linear. Life is circuitous. We go in, we go out, we go up, we go down, we go all over the place, right? So relationships are like that too. So even if things do shift and change rapidly, where you do start to get some peace of mind about things and you can start to see more clearly in their behavior how they feel about you, I don't want to paint the picture that then all of a sudden it's going to be the trumpets are going off and the fireworks and now we walk happily into the sunset together, because that's not how it goes, right? And this does feel complicated. If there's any real active addictions that will continue to hold things up, healing is absolutely possible. And we just don't know how long it'll take. We are in a very dense world that we live in this planet, 3D Earth, whatever you want to call it. Oh, and I almost knocked the Earth right off the table. It's dense, and we are operating inside of time. So there's no telling how long things will take. But if it continues to feel good to you and it is nourishing on a soul level, and you are healing and you are expanding and you are experiencing love, well, then you keep going until it doesn't feel good, right? But there are no fairy tales. Life is very complicated, and you always have to follow your own internal guidance system. So also don't take anything that I say, because if it doesn't feel good to you, then you're going to know that. And maybe you just needed to hear, yeah, this person does love me, but it still doesn't feel good. And so this is not for me. And that's always your choice. We all always have free will. But this person does see really beautiful things within you and within this partnership. And there is love there. Absolutely. Okay, group one, I hope that this brought you some insight and some clarity. I would love to hear what it was like for you in the comment section below. If you feel comfortable leaving a comment, that would be amazing. If you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would also be incredible. I'm going to be doing pick a card readings every week, so maybe you want to subscribe to my channel. There might be others that also resonate with you. I thank you so much for your time and your attention. I send you so much love and so much light. And until next time, be well. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be looking at a variety of different cards today, some very traditional tarot cards, oracle cards, romance angels. We'll look at them all each one by one, and then the larger story that wants to be told. So what is it that they truly feel about you? First, we got the Six of Swords. This is a card about movement from chaos to calm, really. So there's some movement happening here. Another interesting, this is a swords card, but there's a lot of water here. And then we move right into the King of Cups. Water, water, water. This is a deeply emotional man who sometimes disguises his emotions, cover things up. So there's a real depth there, but we don't always get to see what's going on with the King of Cups. So that might be how this person sees you. There's something about you that is, you're very deep, I imagine, but you may hold your cards a little bit closer to your chest. Wow, then we have the Six of Wands. Beautiful. I love this energy, this card. This is about recognition. This is about success. This is about confidence too. And a lot of times this card speaks about self-love. I also noticed we have two sixes here to get started. So there's some energies around balance here with a six, it feels like to me. So giving and taking, acknowledgement in some way, perhaps. Then we have the Five of Wands. So this is a card, it's not the Five of Swords, it's not a violent conflict sort of card, but it is about like banter, possibly some confusion, or this can sometimes be kind of like a sexy banter too. So I don't get turned off by this card. This is a card about, you know what it feels like to me? That you like really kind of, these two cards together feels like the Seven of Wands to me, and we'll see if we get the Seven of Wands, but it's like you really stand up for yourself. It feels like you are, you're fiery. Yes, the water energy here is represented, but it feels like your personality, like you have a lot of emotional depth, and maybe on the outside, you're kind of fiery. Oh, wow, interesting. Two kings. Now we have the King of Pentacles. So these are very mature energies. So I don't know if you are a man or a woman, but two king energies is a very, very mature individual. Someone who has their shit together. So I imagine that you are very accomplished in your life. And the Six of Wands can talk about that as well. So this person has a lot of respect for you. That's what it is. Wow. They have a lot of admiration for you, Six of Wands. They have a lot of respect for you. They really think that you're like a boss. Like the King of Pentacles is a boss, no doubt. Like the King of Pentacles has it all figured out in the material realm. Very similar to the Emperor energy. Also very sensual though. And the King of Cups is also very sensual too. So I imagine you're a sensual, fiery person. Let's see what else we get. Oh, the Nine of Cups. This is wishes fulfilled. This is like happiness. This is a dream come true. You are a dream come true to this person. I wonder what this Six of Swords is about. There's some sort of a movement from maybe this Five of Wands energy. Like something was chaotic in some way, or confusing in some way, or even upsetting in some way, but we're moving away from that energy to more clarity, grounded, mature, happy energy. Let's see what other cards we got. We got the Angel of Strength. This is very similar to the Strength card. It is, you're strong. Like I was saying, you're fiery. I mean, Leo energy, like you're definitely like someone that you just don't fuck with. That's the energy that I'm getting from you. This is how they see you. They see you as a powerful person. You are a very powerful person. And I imagine that they see you up on that horse, like they put you on a pedestal is what I heard. It's almost like that's my wishes come true. That person is really like all of my wishes come true, and yet I don't know if I'm good enough for them or something like that. But like you are a powerful, strong person. For sure they see that in you. You might be like a entrepreneur or a CEO or, in some way they see you as really having things figured out in the material realm. Romantic feelings. So this is a general reading. So I don't know if this is a romantic partnership or a work or family member. But if it is a romantic partner, yes, they see you as strong. Because I know sometimes as women, we can be like, oh no, I don't want to intimidate this guy because then he's not going to feel like a man and then he's not going to come toward me. I know I have had that conversation in my head around men in my life many, many times, right? And I think sometimes we can get in that trap. So I just don't want you to start to feel that way now because you're hearing, oh no, he thinks that I'm so strong. Is he not attracted to me? He's definitely attracted to you. He has romantic feelings for you, no doubt. And I imagine he's probably a very powerful person as well. He doesn't have to be, though. Sometimes opposites attract, right? But he definitely sees you as a powerful person, without a doubt. So then we got the Damsel, the Hermit, and the Prince card. I love these cards. These are Carolyn Mace's archetype cards. And I really wanted to see the kind of person that he sees you as, because a lot of times the tarot will indicate like what someone wants or how they feel, but we're getting so many cards about how they see you as a person. Like, hold please, let me see here. So the Prince card is romance, charm. It can also be, that they see you as a super confident person. And it's like you know how to get what you want. There's something about that. Then we got the Hermit card, which is a very interesting energy juxtaposed to all of these others. However, with this King of Cups, the sense that I'm getting is that you have a certain persona in the world where you are really powerful. You know how to get what you want. You speak your mind. You have figured out the material world in many ways. You're just a super powerful person. And you also have a very private side about you. So yeah, you show this external face, and there is this other side of you that is reserved and private and quiet, and your person knows that about you. They see that in you, and I imagine that's what they find to be so attractive, which leads us to the next card, which is the Damsel card. And this is, if I can read it without my glasses, understanding the nature of healthy romance. So we got three cards of romance for you. You must be a very romantic person, or they see you as a very romantic person, or they have a lot of romantic feelings for you. So, although, this is what I'm saying, although they, and maybe this is what this card is about, why we started the reading this way. Because, and there's always a reason why I say, like I felt like it was important for me to say something about you being this powerful woman and men being intimidated by it and whatever. My sense is that at the start of your story, your person was intimidated by you. They felt like you did have all your shit together, that you're this powerful person and so charming and and so romantic maybe, and maybe you have a lot of suitors. And also they see you as the epitome of their wishes fulfilled. And yet maybe they were like intimidated by you in a very real way. Like they kind of thought, I don't know, maybe this person is too good for me. Not like intimidated like they're too strong, but maybe too good or out of my league in some way. That's my sense, is that with all this kingly energy and the strength card and everything, it's like, I think your person in a way just felt like you were too good for them. But I think there's been an opening, and now they see that they have this opening to go toward you, because now with the damsel and the hermit energy, my sense is that they're like, oh, no, you are actually very, I heard the word fragile, and I don't think that's necessarily it, but maybe that's even how they articulated it to themselves. Like there is like a tenderness to you. I mean, let's be honest, with the lion, the archetype of the lion is like the super strong, powerful lion. It's also the cowardly lion, right? And we know that about Leos. It's like these people who can be very gregarious and outgoing and, you know, out in front of everyone. And at the same time in their private life, they can also sometimes be very insecure. And it's like isn't it, oh, maybe it's the elephant that's scared of a mouse, or is it the lion that's scared of a mouse? But you know what I mean, that sometimes people can have this outward persona that's like, I am so strong and powerful, and they get home and they put their jammies on and they feel like, I don't know, did I do that right? And oh my goodness, I screwed that up again. Like sometimes the most powerful people can be their own worst critic. And there's something about that for you, that I'm getting a sense of that for you. And maybe you just shared that with your person, or somehow they saw that in you. They see this damsel energy in you and this hermit energy in you. And it's appealing. And why it's appealing is because we want people to be human. You know, and I think sometimes we forget, and I think this is an important message for you. Sometimes we forget in life that what people fall in love with is our humanity. It's not all of the successes that we have, or how ambitious we are, or our talents, or what we can do. It's really like the tenderness. It is really the vulnerability. It's really the weaknesses, for lack of a better word, it feels important to say, that draw people to us. Why? Because we all have them. And then we become more accessible. That is why, like, self-deprecating humor is so powerful. And a lot of people use it. A lot of people in power positions will use self-deprecating humor for that very reason. So it's like, hey, I'm just like you. Don't forget that I'm just like you too. We're chums, you know, kind of thing. Well, it's the same thing in interpersonal relationships. It's like, yeah, we all want to date the hot jock. But at the same time, if we don't feel like we're on their level, like we're not going to feel good about ourselves, because even if it's a friendship, right? Or family, any kind of relationship, we want it to feel equal, unless it's like a mentor or a boss or something, right? And you might be this person's boss, but I don't think so. My sense is that either it's romantic, probably, or it is like a friendship or a work situation or whatever, but I imagine that you are actually socially equals. And yet this person sees you as this large figure. This, like, it's almost like, I know that I got this king's energy, but it feels like you're like a queen or something. I see you as like the queen of wands, and you might be a man, and that's why we got these two cards, but it may not be. It's like the king is really just the top of the rung, right? It's like You are just so strong and so capable and so powerful and have done so many things in your life. And it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to have a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's like you are a leader, really. I mean, people see you as a leader, and that's what draws people to you. And then when we get even closer, we have to see where the cracks are. And that's where we fall in love. So my sense is that this person has now seen you as this damsel, as this tender is the word that I'm getting, gentle energy that you have as well. And it's causing them to have romantic feelings for you. So they're going to be moving toward you with this. I mean, we open up the whole entire reading with the Six of Swords energy. This is movement. This is moving from confusion to clarity. So if they were confused about, I don't think they were at all confused about who they saw you as. I think they have been very clear from the get-go that you're the bomb, that you are powerful, you're strong, you're confident, you're capable. They were just maybe confused about how they could fit into your life, or if you liked them. You know what I'm saying? And somehow they saw that. Or they're about to see it. It's like, it could be a past energy, it could be a present energy, it could be something that we're moving into right now, but it's definitely swirling in your field, which is why it came up right now. And that is to say that they now see that you are also someone who's very private, someone who is very gentle, someone who has a fragility just like the rest of us, and someone who is very romantic, just like this person. I think that you're both very romantic people, and maybe you're both a little private, you know, oftentimes in love relationships, and that's what I'm sensing this is. It doesn't have to be, but that's what I'm sensing. We mirror each other in many ways. Our outward externalization of our life may be very different, but there are inner qualities that are very similar, which is why we're drawn to each other. So my sense is that you're both deeply, deeply romantic, and maybe both of you sort of hold your cards close to your chest. Maybe both of you are like not necessarily revealing all of your deepest feelings just yet, but they're deep, and you have the capacity for really deep love, and your person sees that in you without a doubt. And you make them happy. You absolutely make them happy. So my sense is that things are going to be moving along very rapidly, and we have a lot of exciting, romantic, yummy things on your path. So I'd love to hear if anything exciting happens, or if this resonated with you in the description box below. Group 2, this was your reading. I hope that it brought you some clarity and some insight. Again, I would love to hear what it was like for you. If you feel comfortable leaving a comment below. If you liked the reading, a thumbs up would be amazing. Maybe even subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing pick a card readings every week, so there might be others that resonate with you as well. I thank you so much for your time and attention. I send you so much love and so much light. And until next time, be well. Hi, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be using a variety of different cards today. Some very traditional tarot cards, oracle cards, romance angels. We'll look at each card one by one, and then we'll really see the larger story that wants to be told. So we start the reading with the Lovers card. So I imagine this is about a romantic partnership. However, if it's not, that's okay too. This love is hopefully in every relationship, right? What I'm noticing about this card in particular to start the reading off is that they're naked. So there's something about vulnerability here, or seeing through a facade in some way, or This is also a card about making a choice, which I think is important to mention. So we'll see if there's more about that. Let's see what else we've got. Then we've got the Eight of Wands. These are like the arrows of love. This is rapid, fast moving energy or communication. So if you've been waiting to hear something from this person, I imagine that's going to be coming very soon. The next card is the Queen of Wands. So they see you as a very magnetic, beautiful. They're very attracted to you. I mean, the Lovers card and the Queen of Wands, they are very attracted to you. And maybe the reason I see them as naked, I hope no children are watching, is because they're so attracted to you. Like, they're sexually very, very attracted to you. And whether or not you guys have had sex, like, they think about it. They are for sure, even with these Eight of Wands, I mean, this is very phallic to me. Like, if you're a man or a woman, you know, you just apply it to your life, how it resonates, but they're super attracted to you. And if you haven't heard anything from them about that yet, I have a sense that you will be soon. Interesting. Then we got the Wheel of Fortune. So this is like how karmically things are set in motion from our past actions. And that from those past actions, the wheel then changes. So things are changing because of something that happened in the past. And as they're changing, there's not really a whole lot you can do about that. This is a very archetypal card. So like, things are shifting and changing. So we have two cards about shifting and changing. This is very rapid. This is not always as rapid, but it feels like it will be in this case because we do have the Eight of Wands. So something is shifting and changing. And then we got the Four of Pentacles. This is a card about, it can be about like closing yourself down to love or closing yourself off from intimacy or connection, not wanting to be vulnerable in some way. So that might be you. You might be like that, or it might be them, or it might be both of you. I have a sense it's probably both of you. Let's see what else we've got. Then we have the Ten of Swords. Wow, we start with the Lovers and we end at the Ten of Swords. So if this is a romantic partnership and you've been in this partnership, it might be ending or it has ended. There's some ending in some way here. This is also a 10. So there's cycles that are ending and beginning right now. The beautiful thing about the 10 of Swords, even though it is very dramatic in traditional tarot cards, we see this guy, you know, sometimes he's got the swords in his back. In this deck, they're in his front. But this is like, I am done. I cannot take anymore. Sometimes this comes like out of the blue. That's not what it feels like to me. It feels like this has been like over time, not being able to take it anymore and just being done with something. So there's definitely a cycle that's ending and then something beginning. And let's see if we can get some more clarity about that. We have the Strategy card. So this is making a plan. This is journaling. This is like putting things down in paper. Really what this card says to me is figuring things out. So it seems like your person is trying to figure things out. So maybe things did end. And now your person is like going back to the drawing board, seeing if they can figure things out. But because we have the Wheel of Fortune card here, whatever ended is faded. Like it needed to end. Whatever that was, those patterns that had been building up over time, they needed to end so that we could start a new cycle of some kind. But with the Lovers card here, there's no doubt that this is like a soulmate, deep, deep connection. It's probably not the first time you guys have been together. In other words, you had past lives together in some way. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Interesting. So with this 10 of Swords energy and with the 4 of Pentacles, it feels to me like some shit has been going down in this relationship. And that things have come to a screeching halt. Or they're about to, right? These energies can be past, present, or future, but they're swimming in your field. So they're kind of happening. So things are ending, and it has to do, I think, with this 4 of Pentacles energy. My sense is that it feels like your person, but it could be you, have been sort of closed down in many ways and not available to fully show up for this relationship. It's like, I did notice the energies being very vulnerable at the start of the reading. And then we have this very different energy of the 4 of Pentacles, which is like, no, don't look at me. Don't, please. I am fully clothed. And now I'm going to put big coins around my chest and around my head and around my feet. And I don't want you to look at me, and I don't want you to come in, and I am closing the store. So also why it's important about this choice, this Lover's card being about choice. It's like, it feels like both of you are learning things about one another, and you're gonna have a choice about how to go forward. So it feels like your person loves you. Your person thinks you are charming and sexy and beautiful and sensuous and dynamic and exciting. And maybe you're closed down as well. But they're learning about you, and they've gone back to the drawing board to figure things out. Let's see what else they see about your personality. Interesting. We have the Student, which plays into the Strategy card. Let's see what it says, if I can read it without my glasses. The light attributes of the Student card are humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. The shadow attributes are arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. So that kind of is similar to this 4 of Pentacles energy, which is like an unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. It's like somebody didn't want to continue to move things forward, and that's why things stopped. So it seems to me like somebody put a kibosh on this relationship, and maybe it was you. Then we have the Trickster energy. The light attributes are transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. The shadow is manipulating others through duplicity. It's similar to this Queen of Wands, which is like a super fiery, kind of could be like a trickster energy, like maybe that's you in some way. There's definitely some issues around trust here. Let's see what other, okay, so then we have the Monk and the Nun. Interesting. The light attributes of the Monk and the Nun are selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. The shadow is negative judgment of the physical world and excess piety. Again, this 4 of Pentacles. So it just feels like you were both learning a lot about each other and really getting to know each other, and the relationship was getting deeper, and then something happened and things shifted, and then you closed down. And once you closed down, the relationship then ended. So my sense is this has to do with the past, either your past together or apart from each other. And that now what's required is forgiving and learning. Learning. We have the Student card we have the learning card, and we have the strategy card. So it feels like your person is learning about you. My sense is that they thought that they knew who you were, and then something happened and they were like, oh, wait a minute, that's not what I thought. Hold on a minute. And then everybody sort of shut down. And then again, the relationship ended. So what the cards are saying is that it's important that if you both want to move forward, because you've got to remember that you also have free will, right? I know that this reading is about what does this other person think about you? But I think it's important to note here that you're a part of how things go too. And with this Queen of Wands energy, it feels like you have a lot more power in this relationship than you're giving yourself credit for. And it feels like you are the one who energetically shut down in some way. That you started the relationship very open. This is what I'm getting here. That you started this relationship very open and vulnerable and loving, and everything was going well. And then something happened that caused you to close down. And your person maybe closed down too, because we often mirror each other, right? So then you closed down and then the relationship ended. So I think that the message that's important for you to get here is that you actually have the power to open energetically back up again and to allow for things to move forward again. You actually are the one with most of the power here. I know that it feels like you're waiting for your person to decide about you, but it feels like you are actually the one who gets to decide. And, you know, in the world of personal development, we say that we are 100% responsible for our relationships. Now, this isn't necessarily the truth. This is just a way of looking at a situation which empowers us to have freedom of choice. And it feels like this message is very important for you to hear right now, because this is a very important relationship in your life, obviously. We start the reading off with the Lovers. I mean, this is a soulmate love. And like I said, my sense is that this is from many lifetimes, this connection. So even if it's not romantic, the dynamics that you guys are going through right now have probably played out many times before. So whatever this change is in the Wheel of Fortune, my sense is it is a pattern from your past. It's playing out again so that then you can heal it together. And this time, your lesson is to realize how much power you have in this story, and to realize that even though he has shut things down, you energetically can actually open yourself back up again and allow that wheel to turn. And that your power is not in physically doing anything about it. It's about energetically harnessing that divine feminine energy within you, that receiving yin energy. And I think a lot of times we feel, I don't know if you're a woman, I'm just assuming that you are, because most of the people who watch these videos are women, but if you're not, please just apply this to you however it resonates, because the truth is we each have the divine feminine and the divine masculine within us. And it's important for us to work with and heal those energies, both energies, no matter what sex we are on the outside. So it feels very important that we speak about your divine feminine energy right now, and it feels like that's what this lesson is for you. That you have so much dynamic, powerful energy in your feminine, and it feels like maybe it's been shut down in some way. And that the lesson for you right now is about opening back up to that again. And this is a big lesson, okay? So it's not like, I don't mean to be flippant about it, like, oh, you just become super feminine and access the yin energy and just receive. It's like, we can work on this our whole lives and not get it just right. But it is dynamic, right? It is ever changing and shifting and growing. So it's not anywhere to arrive at. It is simply a practice. It is a practice. Practicing fully harnessing and allowing your divine feminine to receive. That's really what it feels like to me here. It feels like the message for you is to not be to not allow yourself to fall into those lower energies of manipulation and trying that a lot of women we have. Because historically, and I just feel like this is important to mention, historically, obviously, women had no power, right? So how did we make things happen? We manipulated, we lied, we did everything that we could to get what we want without being direct about it. And that was the sort of the lower energy of the feminine. The other way is to open up and to receive life and allow life. And that means that we have to set down our pentacles, really, and put everything down and just sort of open back up again. So that could look like sharing when you're hurt about something instead of closing down about it, right? That could look like crying. That could look like even starting to journal for yourself too. This could be a message for you as well, just about writing out your feelings. It feels like something about that for you, that it's important that you get in touch with your own feelings around this, and forgive and learn about yourself, not just the other person. It feels like what's being asked of you is to do some internal work and to forgive your own self. And maybe if this is a long-term relationship, it is also required that you guys take the time to forgive each other. Because a lot of times I think that we can think that we've forgiven the other person. It's like we have the argument, then we have the big talk, and then we're like, oh yeah, everything's fine now. I forgive you and we're good and let's keep going. But really what's going on is that we've actually shut down. And that's what it feels like to me. This is the story that I'm getting. It's like there was this beautiful union of some kind and all this rapid moving forward, and then something happened, something shifted, and then, like I said, again, I'm sorry I keep saying it, but it's like, it's important because whatever that something was that happened and shifted for you is where you want to look to do the healing work, right? And this pattern that maybe you have of then shutting down your heart, which is very human. I am absolutely not insulting you in any way. I'm just saying that that's why it was like the succession of events that ended things, right? So it was all a part of it. It wasn't just like, oh, he did that, so then I did it's like, no, it all sort of happened together. And really your power is going to be in looking at how you can forgive yourself, forgive the relationship. And it's interesting, I noticed these spirits here sort of behind this guy, right? It's like the spirits of the past. There's something, again, about the past that needs to be healed and forgiven. And so maybe you already have done a lot of work on this, but it's coming up again. So it's the next layer. It's like life is this upwardly moving cycle, right? It's not like, oh my gosh, I'm back at the same spot again. Here we go again. It's like, no, you're actually further up than you think. You have a higher perspective now. You have a better view. So don't get down on yourself that like, oh, all the work that I've done it doesn't even matter because, you know, here we are back to the 10 of Swords again. It's like, no. There might have been a pause and there might be some shit going on right now, but it's okay. Just take a moment, go back to the journaling work that you know how to do, go back to that meditation work that I'm sure you've done before, and look a little bit deeper and ask yourself the question, like, how can I receive more inside of this relationship? How can I open up more to my own vulnerabilities? Is there pain? Do I still have resentment and pain? Like, if you are the one that is carrying around this 10 of Swords energy, you can't expect yourself to be vulnerable and loving with this other person. And I think so oftentimes with us as women, we just think that we can just shut it down. It doesn't matter. It's that survival instinct. Again, it's like, I know I'm sort of talking in circles and sometimes that happens, but it's like I get little insights about different things and then it all comes together. But it does feel like that for me. Like you were hurt about things and you maybe just suppressed that. And you were like, it doesn't matter. But then it did matter. And then maybe one small thing happened that brought up that huge tsunami of pain that was already there. And it just needs to be processed again. It needs to be honored. It needs to be looked at. It needs to be loved. Because you can't go from the 10 of Swords to the Lover's card and just be like, oh, let me just open up my heart and be vulnerable with you again. No, there's a process. You have to forgive. You have to learn. You have to have a plan. And that's what this card is about too. So if this is a love relationship and you want to go back to it and it is important to you, the cards are saying that this is a real love. You are right. It is possible for there to be healing and transformation. And what's required is forgiving and learning and make a plan about it, you know? Some therapy, a great course, working with a great coach. I can work with you if you're interested in working with someone one-on-one, but there just needs to be some more internal work about still things that you're upset about, frankly. And it's okay if you're still upset about them, you know? And the truth is, we can only run from our feelings for so long, and then they come knocking. And then it's usually like a tidal wave, you know? But that's okay. It's all a part of it. Then we just have to sit. We have to allow the wave to come on in. We take a moment, and then we look at everything. And then we process again. And then we cry, and then we heal, and then we share, and we do all of those things. And we get back up, and we start all over again. Because there's absolutely, without a doubt, real love here. And your person loves you and is very drawn to you and, you know, thinks you are just about as charming as can be. So there's a lot to work with here. And whether or not, I think it's important to say, whether or not you end up with this person or not, take this opportunity to do forgiveness work and to learn about yourself and where in your life you shut down and where in your life you give up on your own internal storms. You know, when do you suppress yourself and say, oh no, don't worry about it, it's fine, right? And then it shows up later. Because how we do anything is how we do everything. It doesn't matter if you're doing it with this person or another person. You're probably just, that's how you are sometimes in relationship. And so what a great opportunity now to look at those patterns and heal them so that the next time around you're that much higher up the rung, if that makes sense. Okay, my dears, I hope that this brought you some insight and some clarity. This was your reading. I would love to hear what it was like for you in the comment section below if you feel comfortable sharing. If you liked the video, a thumbs up would be amazing. Maybe even subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing pick a card readings every Sunday, so there might be others that resonate with you as well. I thank you so much for your time and attention. I send you so much love and so much light. And until next time, be well. Hi, Group 4. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be using a variety of different cards today, some traditional tarot cards, oracle cards, romance angels. We'll see each card one by one, and then we'll really see the story that wants to be told. We start the reading with the Empress card. So, if we're wondering what this person thinks of you, they think you are the divine feminine incarnate. They see you as nurturing and loving and warm. Like there's just like a warmth about you and a tenderness and a kindness. Like I think they see you as a kind of person who loves taking care of people. There's a real generosity of spirit about you that they see about you. I mean, honestly, you couldn't, what does someone think about you? Whether you're a man or a woman, you have these qualities. Like I was just saying in the last reading, it's like we each hold the divine feminine and the divine masculine within us. And it's important that those energies are fully realized within each of us. So whether you're a man or you're a woman, they see these beautiful, for lack of a better word, feminine qualities about you, which are lovely to have in a man or a woman, frankly. Then we got the 10 of Pentacles. This is like having it all in the material realm. So I don't know if this is a love reading or not, but this person sees you as having the potential to literally have everything and that they could share everything with you. So this can be a card about like a happy marriage with a mortgage paid. This can be a card about inheritance and family and like coming from a good stock. Like that's also my sense of you, is like this person sees you as someone who is valuable and that you come from like good people. Then we got the Hermit card. Very powerful energies you have. The Hermit is someone who seeks counsel within themselves, someone who is wise, someone who has spent time in self-reflection and often likes to be alone a lot. So maybe they see that about you, that you are maybe you're a loner in some ways, you know, or that you just really love your alone time. Wow. Oh my goodness gracious. Hold on, I had to jump ahead. Powerful energies you've got here. We've got the Hangman. Okay. This is a card of also like enlightenment. Like they see you as like a very wise, you're very, very wise. The Hangman is someone, it is like a pause in the action. Oftentimes it can be like getting a different perspective, like pausing the action to sort of like regroup and waiting for insight to come before you take action. So you're probably also someone who's very thoughtful and who thinks before they act, who thinks before they speak, who cares about other people and how you contribute to other people in your life. You seem like a lovely person, by the way. Then we got the Strength card. Wow, powerful, powerful energy. And this is a card very literally about being strong. And it's also a card about taming your own inner beast, like dealing with your own ego about things. So again, you seem like a very wise person, or at the very least, this person sees these things about you. And then we have the Queen of Swords. Another power right next to the Strength card, very powerful energy. Queen of Swords speaks her mind. Sometimes she can be cutting, sometimes she can be a bit much, but she knows exactly what she wants. She is direct, she is to the point, and she tells it like it is. So, you're very nurturing and very kind and very warm and very, not rash, but clear and direct. Wow. You're awesome. Wow, then we got the yin and the yang energy. So you know what this is making me feel like? So sometimes we can look at this card in one direction or the other, and we say that one of the energies is dominant. But I really, before this reading, wanted to look at the cards upright and look at the full light and shadow aspects of each. So what I'm getting from this yin-yang energy is that you're really balanced. Like you have, we have the Empress card. This is definitely divine, a feminine energy, but like also with the Queen of Swords, like, yeah, it's feminine, but it's super also masculine in many ways. Yang, she's very yang energy, this woman. She knows how to go out into the world and get what she wants and speaks her mind, and she's not a wimp in any way. So they see you as having all of these amazing qualities, and you're very well-rounded and you're very balanced. Like you have a harmonious energy about you. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So maybe your person is having financial issues. Could be you as well. Interesting that we have the 10 of Pentacles. So money is at play here. So maybe you come from a lot of money. This is kind of a sense that I'm getting, is that you come from a lot of money and maybe your person does not. And maybe that gives them reservation in some way. If this is romantic or friendship or anything, like maybe they just see you kind of as this, you know, kind of queenly figure in many ways. And finances are affecting how they are being with you. And you're gonna know how that makes sense to your story. Then we're using Carolyn Mace's archetype cards. So let's see what we got. The Child Divine, the Virgin, and the Healer. Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna read the light and the shadow attributes of these cards if I can without my glasses. Let's see how we go. So the Child Divine is the light attributes: innocence, purity, redemption. Suggests a special connection with the divine. The shadow attributes are an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. That doesn't feel like you because you have this Queen of Swords energy. So what it feels like is this purity about you, and also your connection to the divine is very much like I said, you're very wise and probably deeply spiritual. And you may be watching this and feel like, oh, I don't see that about myself, but this is what this person sees in you, remember? So sometimes people can see us in ways that are more true to who we really are than how we even see ourselves, you know? So you were drawn to this reading because you needed to know that this is how you occur in the world. As a deeply nurturing, loving, giving, generous, wise, strong person. Rad. Then we have the Virgin card. And this light attribute is maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, and the shadow is fear of intimate union. So with these are very, very similar here. Again, it is this like purity, and with the Child, we have all of these energies of this innocence and purity. And maybe that's why too, if you've been feeling like, if this is a romantic relationship we're talking about here, and your person, you know, you have a connection with your person and they haven't sort of been doing anything about it, maybe they do sort of see you as this virginal character. Whether or not you're a virgin, doesn't matter. They just see you as being pure in a way. And it feels like they want to like honor that. And then we have the Healer card, the light attributes. Passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. Wow. And the shadow is taking advantage of those who need help. failing to care for oneself. So my sense is if the shadow of this card at all applies to you, it's about you caring for yourself. That's why I felt it was important for me to say that you may not see this about yourself. And that is the sense that I'm getting from you, that you really are spectacular. You have really done a lot of work on yourself. You have a deep connection to your higher self and the divine. I imagine that you've done a lot of work on yourself, or at the very least, like you're not least, or that you pray a lot, you meditate a lot, like you're very connected to spirit. But it feels like you don't see that about yourself. Maybe you come from a long line of people who were very successful or important in the world in some way, so you compared yourself to them and you never felt good enough or good as them. But you're special. You're really special in a very unique way. I mean, you have, out of 6 tarot cards, you have 4 major arcana. And these are deeply spiritual cards. So this tells me that you are, you're very evolved and you're an old soul. You've been around, and this is not your first rodeo, you know? So don't get, for whatever reason, I think it's important to say, like, don't allow yourself to compare yourself too much to other people in the world around you, because this is kind of a crazy world that we're living in. So when you compare yourself to people who are a little bit crazy, then you feel like you're the one who's nuts, when really you're the one who's sane, right? Like, it's great to have money and be accomplished and be successful and all that other stuff, but the reality is that we are spiritual beings having a physical, material experience, and that this is a playground for us to learn and to grow and to develop spiritually, not materially. So if you are what I see here in these cards, you are doing great. You're doing great. And your person sees all of this in you. So that means to me that they're just as special as you, because we cannot see in others what we don't have in ourselves. That's how it works. So both of you are very, very special. And this is important, this finances and career, because honestly, out of this whole thing, this is the only card that's at all dark or negative in any way. So it feels like this is the thing that might be holding back the whole deal. And when I see finances and career, it to me means whatever's happening in the material world. So it could be finances, it could be career, but it could also be things like home or like where you live, physical things, if that makes sense. Because this is a very spiritual reading. So there's stuff in the material realm that is conflicting or holding your union back in some way, or holding your person back from coming towards you in some way. Or that's why you feel confused about how they feel about you. It has to do with the material, not the spiritual. Because on the spiritual, you guys are connected. On the spiritual, you know exactly how they feel about you. But in the material, things are a little chaotic right now. And that's okay, because life is chaotic here in this crazy world that we live in. I don't know when you're watching this, but we're all in lockdown right now because of this coronavirus. And we can just see how unstable and chaotic the material realm is, right? Because the only constant that we have in this world is that things change. So you don't want to hang your hat on that, right? You can't really hang your hat on anything in the physical material realm. but rather the internal, eternal space is where you really find your peace and your clarity. And it seems to me like you have a vast world inside of you, and your person sees that. And that is where you guys have been connecting. And so I'm hopeful about your connection in the material. I'm hopeful about how this person starts to show up for you in the material realm, such that you don't have to be watching any more tarot readings about how they feel about you. Yeah? Because they feel really that you are a special, special, beautiful person. And my sense is that they actually see a future with you in some way. So whether it's in business or romance, like they see you guys being together for the long haul and being able to create something together in the material. And that's my sense too, that like if you guys are both having money trouble, there might be something here for you, because you did get this yin and yang and it coming together. Like my sense is that you could work together in some way in this material realm. Yeah, help each other out in some way in the material. That's what I feel like is the future that you're stepping into together. And maybe this reading was for you to was confirmation for that in some way for you, to know like, okay, we can actually work together, and that you're doing great. You are doing great. You are a special, special individual. And you'll figure out the material realm. If you haven't already, you will. And maybe you can do it with your person. I think so. Okay, group 4, that was your reading. I hope that it brought you some insight and some clarity. I thank you so much for your time and attention. I would love to hear what it was like for you in the comment section below, if you feel comfortable sharing. If you'd like the video, a thumbs up would be amazing. Maybe even subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing pick a card readings every week, so maybe there's others that resonate with you as well. I send you so much love and so much light. And until next time, be well.